Hey guys, so XRP took a little dip today. We're sitting at a 24-hour low of $2.88 right now. And honestly, I'm actually excited that I get to say it's down to $2.88 because listen, I've been hodling this thing for almost 8 years, and for most of that time, we were stuck around 30 cents, give or take. So when I step back and look at the bigger picture here, the fact that I can even complain about it being down to $2.88, are you kidding me? I'll take that all day long. All right, so yeah, XRP's price took a hit, but here's what I'm gonna break down for you in this video that'll blow your mind. We've got some seriously respected chart analysts out there who are still calling for XRP to absolutely explode into double-digit territory. And get this, I'm talking about multiple analysts who are both targeting $27 for XRP. Look, what we're witnessing right now, this is just your typical crypto volatility doing its thing. Just because XRP dipped doesn't mean something's fundamentally broken. Actually, it's the complete opposite. The fundamentals behind XRP have never been this rock solid in its entire 13-year history. It's literally never been this strong. So why the heck is XRP's price in the gutter right now? Simple. Everything's crashing together. And listen, I know this might shock you, but crypto is basically financial chaos wrapped in digital code. It's been wild since day one. Will it chill out eventually? Maybe. Is it absolutely bonkers right now? You bet. But plot twist, this crazy volatility everyone's freaking out about, that's our golden ticket to the moon. I totally get it when those red candles start showing up and you're feeling the heat. But here's the thing, we're still trending up. This choppy action, completely normal stuff, and trust me, we're nowhere near finished yet. Listen, I'm gonna be straight with you. Yeah, we're getting closer to the end of this market cycle timeline-wise, but here's where it gets crazy exciting. That final 10%, that's when the real magic happens, when prices absolutely explode. And that's exactly what we've got coming our way. So if you're sitting there stressed out or panicking, ask yourself this: why do you think prices keep climbing higher? Listen up, this is just your typical market doing market things. You don't need some earth-shattering news headline every time we see a little wiggle. Sometimes crypto just wakes up grumpy for absolutely no reason. And guess what? We roll with it. That's literally the name of the game here. But oh man, the juicy stuff is still waiting for us around the corner. Yeah, XRP took a tiny nap while I'm here talking to you right now. But buckle up, Buttercup. This thing's about to go absolutely bananas. I'm putting my money where my mouth is here. This rally is locked and loaded, ready to blow your socks off. It's your insomniac host here at 12:47 a.m. because apparently sleep is for people who don't obsess over charts. Welcome to Monday, September 22nd, 2025, where Bitcoin just kissed $114,554 goodbye. But hold up. Feast your eyes on this XRP bloodbath. We're literally touching that 24-hour floor at $2.88 as I speak. Now here's where it gets spicy. Peep Bitcoin's 24-hour action right here. Watch me toggle between these bad boys. See that? It's like they're freaking twins. Same DNA, same moves, same everything. And look, I'm throwing this up on screen because yes, XRP took a beating, but this has absolutely zero to do with XRP's fundamentals. There's no breaking XRP news, no regulatory bombshell, nothing specific to our beloved digital asset causing this dive. It's literally the entire freaking market. Just look at these charts side by side. It's the exact same damn pattern. This whole asset class is basically doing synchronized swimming right now. When one dips, they all dip together. So here's my message to you. Do not panic. This upward trend we've been riding, it's been crushing it for 16 incredible years. That momentum isn't just going to vanish overnight, folks. Getting spooked by some volatility, we're literally here for the wild swings. That's the whole point. We know XRP just makes total sense, right? It's going to be one of those early crypto winners, no doubt about it. And here's the thing, crypto isn't going anywhere, guys. So once you wrap your head around this stuff and really get it, all you need is patience and those diamond hands. That's literally how people get rich in this space. When you truly understand this, you won't even sweat those crazy short-term price moves we're seeing right now. And you know who totally gets this mindset? Raoul Pal. Yeah, the former Goldman Sachs guy. He's on the same wavelength. And this dude, he's literally the mastermind behind Global Macro Investor and Real Vision. Talk about building an empire. With 1.2 million people hanging on his every word, and trust me, they should be. But here's where it gets absolutely mind-blowing. This legend is the one who cracked the code for me on Global M2. Like, he connected these insane dots that most people completely miss. We're talking about a stone-cold fact here. Bitcoin literally dances to Global M2's rhythm about 90% of the time. 90%, guys. And this isn't some new trend. We've got over 10 years of proof backing this up. Before Raul dropped this knowledge bomb on me, I was flying blind. Now, it's like having crypto superpowers. He's literally the guy who opened my eyes to this whole thing. Now look, there's no such thing as a perfect crystal ball in this game, but man, this is about as close as you're going to get to one. Throw in the business cycle on top of that, yeah, you've basically got the cheat codes. And Bitcoin actually lags behind Global M2 by roughly 3 months. We already know M2's been pumping higher, right? So when you factor in that delay and stack those charts on top of each other, dude, Bitcoin's about to absolutely explode to the moon. And when Bitcoin moves, everything else follows like dominoes. The entire crypto space just moves together like one giant wave. It's honestly incredible when you see it all laid out. That's exactly what you'd expect, right? And check this out. Literally just a few hours ago, he drops this super simple message. Patience is key to everything and no leverage. I love that he threw in the no leverage part. That's clutch advice right there. This dude knows exactly what he's doing with that post. He can sense that everyone's freaking out, you know? And this was right after the whole crypto market, not just XRP, but everything completely face-planted today. But here's the beautiful truth he's reminding us of. Patience is your best friend in this game. You literally get paid for waiting. That's it. That's the whole strategy. You literally cannot predict where the market's heading, right? So here's what I do instead. I focus on what's actually in my control and just accept that's all any of us can really do. And honestly, that's totally okay. It really comes down to this simple choice. Either you're in the game when things take off, or you're sitting on the sidelines. But if you're doing your homework and spreading yourself across the market properly, then I genuinely believe XRP should definitely stay as a solid piece of that puzzle. Look, that's just my take on things. And honestly, you do you. But here's the thing. Just get yourself some solid exposure to crypto, and then literally just chill. That's literally it, folks. Listen, you don't need some fancy course, okay? You don't need to become this trading wizard or anything. Trust me, I'm definitely not one. There's absolutely nothing magical about me whatsoever. But if I had to pick one thing, just one, it's that I'm probably the most patient person alive when it comes to hodling crypto. If there's any superpower I've got, that's it right there. I can sit back and do absolutely nothing. And apparently, I'm pretty darn good at it. I can literally just chill and do absolutely nothing. And that's my freaking money-making machine right there. That's the entire game, friends. And here's the wild part. You can totally decide to build wealth too, just by spreading yourself across crypto, gripping those coins tight, and becoming a professional couch potato. It's actually ridiculously straightforward once you really grasp why this entire asset universe is basically bulletproof and destined for the long run. Once you totally get that, and trust me, there are countless reasons why, real businesses with actual utility, business models that literally couldn't exist before, the incredible freedom crypto unlocks. When you grasp all this stuff, you'll honestly sleep like a baby at night. Here's the thing though. I'd be tossing and turning every single night if I wasn't holding XRP and all these other cryptos in my portfolio. Like, seriously anxious about missing out. What's good, everyone? So I'm scrolling through my feed and bam, Julian Biddle just dropped this absolute banger of a post. For those who don't know, this legend heads up macro research at Global Macro Investor. Seriously, this guy's brain is like a walking financial encyclopedia. He's teamed up with Raul Pal, and let me tell you, when these two put their minds together, magic happens. I actually screenshotted this beauty back on September 18th because I knew you'd want to see it. Now, here's where it gets spicy. Julian hits us with just 3 words, not even close. That's it. But guys, when you peep this chart, chef's kiss, pure genius. That gorgeous pink line? That's Bitcoin's wild ride since practically the Stone Age of crypto. 2010, baby. And check out that sleek black line cutting through. That's his secret sauce, Bitcoin Cycle Top Finder, doing its thing. All right, guys, so check this out. This indicator is totally proprietary, but here's the crazy thing. Whatever data they're pumping into this thing has been spot on since day one at predicting Bitcoin's cycle peaks. I'm talking perfect track record here. Now look at this chart. We're not even close to that peak zone, which honestly makes total sense. Why? Because Bitcoin hasn't started tracking global M2 money supply yet, and we're still waiting for that business cycle flip to happen. So this whole thing, yeah, it's clicking perfectly. But check this out. Raoul Pal just dropped a repost tonight, and guess what? Dude's still rock solid confident even while we're watching these charts bleed red. Here's the thing though, we're just getting warmed up. Trust me on this one. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not some crystal ball wizard over here. You guys know how I roll. I keep it real, no wild promises or guarantees. That's just not happening from me. But yo, I've got this burning gut feeling that we're about to witness something absolutely insane, like a parabolic moonshot with pure market madness that'll make 2017's run look like pocket change. We're talking next level euphoria that's going to completely obliterate anything we saw in the previous bull run. So check this out. Chart analyst Matthew Hyland dropped this gem, basically saying, hey everyone, relax, this is totally normal price action. He actually posted this in the evening while Bitcoin was already moving around. Bitcoin was sitting at $115,576 at that moment. Yeah, it dipped a bit, but here's what he's seeing. This is just Bitcoin retesting that breakout level. Q3's wrapping up, Q4's getting ready to rock. And honestly, this guy totally gets it. So any chart analyst who's been doing this for literally more than 5 seconds takes one look at this and they're like, oh yeah, totally. Here's exactly what's going down. And honestly, it's super normal stuff, like nothing to freak out about whatsoever. And then XRP, well, it just does its usual thing and follows along directionally, which, let's be real, happens like 99% of the time anyway. Just your everyday, totally normal market moves here, folks. There's this post from Altcoin Gordon, and if you don't know who that is, this guy's absolutely massive in the space with like 810,000 followers on X, right? So he's pointing out something that several analysts I keep tabs on have been spotting lately. Actually, the blockchain backer was literally the very first analyst I ever saw talking about this stuff. Like, he was way ahead of the curve here. So here's why the Russell 2000 is absolutely crucial. And this thing tracks small cap stocks, by the way. Now here's where it gets really interesting, folks. As you venture further out on that risk curve, which is exactly what this represents, small caps are basically seen as way riskier than those big, safe, large cap stocks, right? So when you see those purchases ramping up, that's telling us people are getting hungrier for riskier assets. And historically speaking, when that appetite kicks in, that's precisely when altcoins go absolutely bonkers in the crypto space. This is absolutely wild. So this legend is pulling up the Russell 2000 chart. That's your traditional small cap stocks on the left side. Then boom, he drops the total 3 chart on us. And for my newer viewers, that's tracking the juiciest 125 altcoins by market cap. But here's the twist. Bitcoin and Ethereum are completely kicked out of this party. Now here comes the mind-blowing part. These charts are basically twins. When Russell 2000 decides to party, our altcoins throw their own celebration right alongside it. And yes, XRP Army, your precious gem is absolutely dancing in there. This setup is about to go absolutely nuclear. Just feast your eyes on this beauty. On Sunday, this guy posted about the Russell 2000 smashing a brand new all-time high. And he's like, you have no clue how insanely bullish this is for alts. Hold up though. Actually, I know exactly how bullish this is for altcoins. His vibe is totally spot on here. This is absolutely ridiculously bullish, guys. We've literally been sitting here waiting almost 4 whole years for this moment to happen. When this dropped this past week, I called it out the exact day it went down. The Russell 2000 crushing that all-time high. Now listen, we definitely need to watch it blast into full-blown price discovery mode. All right, let's get real for a hot minute here. It's literally inevitable. I mean, seriously, are we actually going to sit here and pretend this is the one cycle where alt season just doesn't happen, that's absolutely bananas. Listen, humans aren't suddenly going to become profit allergic. That's basically what you're suggesting here. You see what I'm getting at? It's like saying, oh yeah, we've got all this sweet Bitcoin profit just chilling, but hey, let's not throw it at altcoins that are still sitting there waiting to explode. Look, buddy, newsflash. We didn't suddenly evolve overnight, okay? Same humans, same greedy little DNA strands running through our veins. We're all still swimming in this exact same crypto ocean together. And now you're going to tell me we just woke up one day like, nah, making bank is so last season. Are you absolutely insane right now? That's the most ridiculous garbage I've ever heard. Come on, people. Humans are gonna human. We're hardwired profit-hunting machines, and that ain't changing anytime soon. So, Chart Animal's Credible Crypto just dropped this post, and apparently someone called Crypto Y totally wrecked this person's headspace. They're like, Credi, I'm mentally destroyed right now. Their question, think we can actually hit $120,000 Bitcoin this year? I mean, we technically already touched it, but they're probably asking if we can get back there and stay, right? Totally fair question. Look, this is classic crypto behavior, people. Price dips, portfolios shrink, and suddenly everyone's having an emotional breakdown. Oh no, my precious gains, my net worth. Come on, we've all been there. The feels are real when those numbers turn red. All right. Chill out there, buddy. So here's what Credible Crypto came back with, and honestly, I'm really glad he dropped this reality check. He basically said, hey, reminder, absolutely nothing has shifted on those bigger timeframes we're watching. We're talking big picture here, folks. Actually, we haven't even cracked below $105,000 yet, and that's the key level that would have completely destroyed our most optimistic bull case scenario. Don't let all this sideways madness mess with your head, people. The fundamentals are still rock solid. We're just riding the waves right now. And listen up, guys. This dude is seriously one of the absolute best crypto analysts out there, no cap. I mean, look at those numbers. 476,000 followers on X didn't just happen overnight, you know? This man's been grinding in the space forever. He's still sticking to his guns on XRP, too, predicting it'll top out somewhere between 20 and 30 bucks this cycle. Now look, I don't throw around price calls myself, but hear me out here. $20 to $30 XRP this run? That's not some moonboy fantasy, people. Tons of solid analysts are backing similar targets. We're talking about something that's actually achievable, not some wild pipe dream here. Here's what chart analyst Greg Crypto posted just this Sunday, and it's pretty wild. He drops this simple line. The bullish rectangular formation is loading right now. Look at this chart setup he's showing us. This is exactly what's building up for XRP at this moment. And his target? A straight up $27, people. So here's how this plays out. You see that initial pump leg for the cycle, and boom, that definitely happened back in November 2024. Everything's lining up just like the textbook says it should. You're cruising sideways like you're stuck in traffic, right? Then wham, second leg rockets up and we're eyeing that juicy $27 prize. This is classic playbook stuff, people. Check out last cycle's drama. First pump had everyone losing their minds. Oh, absolute fireworks. Then what? 6 months of the most boring sideways action you've ever seen. Maybe longer. But then, plot twist. That second explosion came out of nowhere. Here's the thing though, we're not talking exact carbon copy timing here, but the DNA, the skeleton structure, that's where history gets spicy and starts dropping those perfect rhymes. And trust me, history is basically the ultimate copycat. Right now, this whole thing is following the script so perfectly it's giving me goosebumps, like seriously, eerily similar. So buckle up, because we're about to find out if this story has the same ending. All right, guys, so Barry C just dropped this wild post saying XRP to $1,000. And look, I'm not trying to hate on anyone who's genuinely buying into that idea, but come on, that's pretty unrealistic, right? I mean, let's be real here. XRP hitting $1,000, that's just not gonna happen, folks. But here's where it gets interesting. ChartNerd actually reposted Barry's take, except he threw in his own, much more reasonable prediction, XRP to $27. Now that aligns perfectly with what Greg Crypto's been saying, and honestly, I'm totally on board with this target. But hey, let me be crystal clear here. I'm not out here making price predictions, okay? That's just not my game. I'll be the first to admit it. I have absolutely no clue where the price is actually headed. Now, that said, big picture, I'm thinking we're going way, way higher than these numbers we're throwing around. And obviously, I've got to believe that, right? I mean, why else would I still be holding XRP if I didn't genuinely think it's going places? Especially after sticking with it for almost 8 freaking years. Trust me, I definitely wouldn't still be here if I didn't truly believe in this thing. But yeah, that $20 target, that actually feels way more realistic and grounded. XRP hitting 20 bucks would be absolutely insane. Look, we all know XRP hit rock bottom this cycle back in June 2022. We're talking $0.28. That was the absolute floor. Now imagine this, XRP climbing from that 0.28 all the way up to $27. Dude, that would be absolutely insane. We're talking about a few short years here, and that kind of move would literally change people's lives forever. Here's the thing though, we really don't need all these crazy pipe dreams about XRP hitting $1,000 this cycle. Come on, that's just ridiculous if you ask me. And hey, that's just my honest take on it. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings here. I genuinely just think those numbers are completely unrealistic. So I just stumbled across this absolute banger of a post from chart analyst Harry. You know, the legend himself over at Geraldo XRP. Guys, when I tell you this man is a straight-up fortune teller in the XRP world, I'm not even kidding. Picture this. December 2017, everyone's going crazy, and this wizard calls the exact moment XRP is about to go absolutely ballistic. We're talking that mind-blowing rocket ship from 20 cents all the way to $3.35. Not only did he spot the launch pad, but he also called the exact moment to hit the eject button at the top. Fast forward to Sunday, and guess what this crystal ball master drops on us? He's like, XRP about to make a move higher, in my opinion. He's got a whole army of fellow analysts backing him up on this prediction. And you know this if you've been trading for a while. When we see a dip on Sunday, honestly, it's usually not a big deal at all. Like seriously, Sunday price action almost never actually matters in the long run. Whether we're pumping or dumping on a Sunday, unless there's some genuinely scary news dropping, which rarely happens, it's just noise, you know? Now, this analyst is calling for prices to move higher short term, and that seems to be his strongest conviction right now. And honestly, I'm seeing this same bullish sentiment from a ton of other analysts too. Oh, and check this out. Here's something Charting Guy posted on Sunday that's absolutely mind-blowing. He's talking about XRP following a BNB fractal pattern. And guys, this is seriously fascinating stuff. He's been tracking this comparison for weeks now, and he's also been super bullish on BNB, which is Binance Coin, predicting it would absolutely explode. And holy cow, has it ever delivered. This thing just smashed through to another all-time high, literally within the past day. Hold on, let me pull this up for you. Yep, there it is. So this is actually a 12-month view here. Let me flip to the 24-hour real quick. But dude, look at these numbers. We're chilling at $1,017 right now, with today's peak absolutely smashing records at $1,082.48. Like, wow. Okay, so picture this. Back on December 3rd, 2024, this absolute legend drops a prediction. BNB to $1,000. Now, BNB was stuck at a measly $618 back then. This dude basically threw down the gauntlet for this epic rally while everyone else was probably scrolling past. Fast forward to today, and boom. Whew. Dreams became reality, people. Sometimes the market just needs to marinate a bit before serving up those gains. His Sunday victory lap basically screams, "Told you so," BNB rocketing from $618 to $1,060. Chef's kiss, honestly. I just had to wait 10 months. That's it. And you know what? Patience always pays off big time in crypto. You want to know what that reminds me of? It's exactly what Ralph Paul dropped right here. Patience is literally the secret sauce to everything. And listen, absolutely zero leverage. Seriously, folks, I'm begging you, stay away from leverage. You don't need that stuff, okay? Think about it. If those insane 1,000% gains crypto can give you aren't exciting enough, and you're sitting there thinking you need to amp things up with some leverage seasoning, then honestly, you might need to get your head examined. Trust me on this one, you absolutely don't need to mess with leverage to build that life-changing wealth we're all after. You're literally just throwing gasoline on a bonfire of unnecessary risk. It's completely insane. So check this out. We've got Ralph Paul over here preaching the gospel of patience, and then our charting wizard swoops in like, yep, patience always gets the gold in crypto. And guys, that's the secret formula right there. That is literally the cheat code to this whole game. Now here's where it gets juicy. What our analyst is laying out in this post is mind-blowing. He's caught XRP red-handed copying BNB's homework. Like, we're talking identical fractal patterns here, playing out beat for beat. You caught that huge pump, then it just starts crabbing sideways, right? And this guy's basically like, duh, that's obviously how this plays out. You're going to witness some absolutely insane fireworks with XRP. This is the kind of wild stuff that crypto throws at us. So let's see if this fractal actually delivers. The pattern's literally right there in our faces. But here's the thing. Picture yourself just sitting there with BNB, refreshing charts every 5 minutes, day after day. That brutal sideways chop probably would have completely crushed your spirit, because absolutely nothing was moving. So he's feeling a bit burned out right now. Totally get it. That's completely normal. Look, this happens in literally every crypto community out there, not just us XRP folks. The markets, they'll absolutely wreck you emotionally. That's just how this game works, straight up. But here's the thing I want you to see. BNB already went through this exact same cycle, and look at it now. Absolutely flying. So when XRP finally takes off one day, don't say I didn't warn you. Look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I can predict exactly when this will happen. That's just not my style. But come on, the direction we're heading, it's pretty darn clear to me. And honestly, that makes so much more sense than this whole doom and gloom scenario where everything just crashes and burns, right? You've just got to hang in there and be patient with the process. I mean, it's really not rocket science here, people. That's literally how this whole thing works. So I just saw this post from chart analyst Ether, and wow, he's saying don't sleep on XRP because the second bull run's coming. Pretty exciting stuff, right? Now here's another analyst chiming in too, and I think I might have actually mentioned this the other day. This one's from September 18th. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I covered this in a recent video, but listen, I really want to emphasize something here. There are literally tons of analysts saying the same thing, and I'm sitting here like, absolutely. Think about it. We already crushed that first major run back in 2024. XRP totally smashed through that symmetrical triangle pattern in July, and boom, new all-time high achieved. We're just seeing some sideways movement right now, nothing crazy, but this thing is absolutely ready to explode. And he's calling for over $10 on this chart alone. Then we've got chart analyst Zinnia jumping in with XRP is showing signs of a bigger move. Look, here's another analyst who's totally on board with this. Yeah, this was from a few days back, but come on. It's not like the price just crashes short term and suddenly the higher timeframes are broken. That's just not how any of this actually works, my friend. Look, that's just not reality, people. So this guy's claiming XRP is gearing up for some massive breakout. He's talking about this bull flag pattern that supposedly puts us at $5 minimum. And then there's this bigger picture going back to 2024 that could hit $15. And he's like, hey, everyone, don't worry about it. Just hang tight a bit longer. But while I'm literally recording this video right now, the markets are tanking even harder. XRP, everything else, just bleeding red across the board. Look, it's completely irrelevant. Prices tanking while you watch this, so what? You're getting advice from someone who's been glued to XRP's wild ride since the very beginning. Every heart-stopping drop, every euphoric pump. Here's my track record. 0 XRP sold. Not one coin. My XRP birthday, November 17th, 2017. I've survived every brutal crash, every moonshot rally, every gut-wrenching twist this crazy asset has delivered. And here's the thing. I was flying blind through all of it, never knowing what was coming next. I've always maintained rock-solid conviction that the long-term trend points straight up, and I had damn good reasons for that belief. Whether you grasp all the technical stuff or not, totally irrelevant. Everything's perfectly fine here. Sure, we're sitting at $2.76. Bitcoin's sliding to $112,952. Ethereum's at $4,151. Binance Coin hit $1,011. The whole market's painting red right now. And you know what I say to that? Who gives a damn? Seriously, who cares? None of this changes the bigger picture. The market's still positioned beautifully for what's coming next. This thing is absolutely primed and ready to explode. Look, at some point, and honestly, it could be way sooner than we think, maybe even literally today. I'm not even kidding here. We're going to witness this massive green wave everywhere. Prices are going to absolutely skyrocket. And here's the thing. You'll either be positioned in the market when this crazy run happens, or you'll be watching from the sidelines, kicking yourself. Here's what I know for certain. When this takes off, and trust me, it's not a matter of if, but when, I'm going to be right there riding that wave, because I'm not panicking or making any moves based on this noise. I'm literally just sitting tight and doing absolutely nothing. So yeah, my net worth took a hit from this. But you know what? I honestly don't care one bit. It really doesn't matter in the long run. Here's the crazy thing. I'm doing absolutely nothing with my investments. Like literally nothing for almost 8 whole years now, and my net worth has grown way more than if I'd actually tried to be active. If I had jumped in and started making moves, there's no way my portfolio would be where it is today. I totally would have screwed it up. But here's what I've noticed about people. We all have this weird urge to mess with our investments. Like, oh no, it's dropping. I better do something. You know what? I need to sell something here. This thing, it looks exactly like that, Michael. Hold up. Just stop it for a second. Look, I'm going to keep it real with you right now. Want to know the biggest threat to your crypto wealth? It's staring back at you in the mirror. Yeah, that's right. You are your biggest enemy here. And here's the crazy part. We humans just can't help ourselves. Every single time, we feel this burning need to do something when the smart play is literally sitting on our hands. It's wild how history keeps screaming this lesson at us, but we never listen. So listen up. XRP's fundamentals, they're absolutely crushing it right now. Seriously. This thing is about to absolutely explode. And trust me, we're nowhere near finished here, guys. Look, this market cycle, we've got so much more runway left, and global liquidity is literally leading Bitcoin, which means it's driving our entire crypto space, XRP included. What does this tell us? Get ready for some serious upside action. So the business cycle. Yeah, I know I keep talking about this lately, but there's a really good reason why. Here's the thing. It hasn't even switched over to where we can actually say, okay, we're stepping into that early phase. And you know what's crazy? All those top indicators, and there's literally about 30 of them that CoinMarketCap tracks. I just showed you guys this recently. Not a single one has flipped yet. Not one. So listen, this isn't the time to panic or get scared. This is actually when you should be getting pumped up, guys. Look, by the time you hit play on this thing, who knows where prices are sitting? Could be moon, could be basement, could be doing the cha-cha, but it's totally irrelevant. When this market decides to go absolutely bonkers, you're either strapped in for the ride or you're that person waving goodbye from the platform. As for me, I'm buckled up and ready. Real talk though. I'm just some random person on the internet, not your financial guru. If you're making money moves based on my rambling, well, that's about as smart as using a chocolate teapot. Seriously, don't do that.